Back in the 80s when Motu was one of, if not the biggest line on the planet, a lot of Mexican bootlegs were made to try to replicate the figures. A lot of them suck, but the best by far have to be this line, Los Amos or The Masters. And right here, I have Skeletor. A lot of Mexican bootlegs can be pretty terrible, as you can see with this He-Man. After recording this video, I realized that He-Man that I just showed might be from the exact same line as this Skeletor, as you can see with this image, and their molds are actually completely the same. If you look closely, the legs are actually totally the same, and so are the arms, and so is the mold that is under the armor for the body. But in reality, this figure is not half bad. If I pick this up here, you can see that the figure does not look bad. The paint's good, the joints feel nice, and the plastic quality is actually pretty good. This can differ from figure to figure. There's some Skeletors that do not have the same body color at all or have mismatched colors for the limbs and head and stuff. But for the most part, it's not that bad. The packaging's nothing special. It's literally just a plastic bag stapled to a piece of cardboard that's Los Amos with a little Motu graphic. Now, the way that I'm talking about these might make it seem like it was just a Motu bootleg, but in reality, they also had figures from Galaxy Warriors, as you can see here with the Sawhack, and there's also a Sunhawk, and on rare occasions, I've seen a Satyr. A lot of figures were released in this line, so I'll list them all now. Skeletor and He-Man, Webstore, Magnon and Sunhawk, Merman, Baltard, Mechanic, Iguana, Beastman, Trapjaw, Huck, Man-at-Arms. And this picture shows a lot of different figures, and it really shows how the paint and plastic color could just differ from figure to figure. If we look closer at the legs here, you can see that they're not actually on a band like most other bootlegs or knockoffs. They're actually on a peg joint, which you'd think would make it easier to make them stand up, but actually it's still pretty hard. You kind of got to balance it in the certain way to make them stand. But as I said, the joint quality is actually pretty good. Another thing you can see here is that the joints all kind of seem to be popping out. Luckily, it's not happening with the legs or the arms, but the waist and the neck joint are kind of coming up from the place that they connect. And the reason for this is it actually is just a peg for each one. You can pull the head off. I actually did have to do that when I cleaned it, and I'm sure you can pull the body off. I've never tried it. I'm not going to try it, but I'm sure you could do it. There was 3 different types of these figures. They were all mold differences. The first being the one I have right here, and the second being what we like to call version 1.5. In version 1.5, the body is different, the legs stay the same. So the body and the torso, instead of being this piece where it's just one piece, they're all connected really, it's a different mold, and also the arms are attached with basically screws or nails, and they're not just attached with a peg, and but the legs stay the same. Then, for version 2, every part of the figure changes. The legs are changed to a more squatting position, and the loincloth, or underwear, or whatever you'd like to call it, is changed. This is about all the pictures I've found of version 2s. There's also some completely different figures released in the same line. That figure in the middle is actually the one that I showed off earlier. There's also these guys, which are actually jumbo, but since the name is Los Amos del Universo, it's hard to tell if they're actually the same line or just a similar name. There's also 3 oddities in the line that I know of. The first being this Scareglow, which could very possibly be a custom. The paint doesn't really look the same, and it has a cape that isn't seen anywhere else in the line, so it could definitely be a custom, but who knows. The second one is this Dragoon-type character with the mouth open. This actually is a new mold that I haven't seen anywhere else other than this line. And the last is this character, which doesn't really look like a new character. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but maybe they made it up, maybe they didn't, maybe they copied it, who knows. I realized after editing this that this is actually weirdly just one of the heads of Too Bad. The last thing I want to do is just kind of look at the figure, because it's a really cool figure. When I first got it, it was very dirty, so I had to clean it, but cleaned off, it looks really nice. As you can see, the mold's pretty good, and it looks a lot like Skeletor. I don't know if they just fully copied the mold. They probably did. Looking at both molds here, it actually looks like they made a completely new mold, which is actually pretty cool. I think they did a really good job with the paint here. Mine's kind of chipped, but it looks really nice, and it actually kind of complements the blue. I really like the contrast of the red versus the blue. I think that kind of looks nice, and they complement each other. The mold overall is really nice, and I just really love this figure. I love to hold it. I think it has some heft, so it's nice to hold. It has a good weight on it. The mold's pretty good. The only thing that is the problem is getting to stand, which actually isn't that hard if you just get it in the right place. You can stand it up pretty much every time. Good lord. And surprisingly, they actually did something better on this figure than on the original, which is painting the backs of the feet. What is up with that? I'm not sure. Seems like they got it done by the time they were doing this. Good job. God damn it. And with that, this video comes to an end. This was a really fun one to record. I really love this figure. I'm definitely going to get more figures from this line in the future. They are very rare and expensive, but I will be slowly building up my collection and finding good deals. So, be on the lookout for new videos. They probably won't go as in-depth as this one, but yeah. And if you enjoyed this, definitely go check out other videos on my channel, as well as my friend Eden's Figure Collections channel. We both make very similar videos. He has some good videos on other knockoffs, so go check out his videos and go check out his channel and subscribe. But with that, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.